All right, here we go. Welcome to the Degenerate Gamblers. What are we in week 3 right now coming up, Evan?
Week three for college football. Week 2 for the NFL.
Week 2 for NFL. Look, I got my guy here, one of the original OGs from Cash Daddies, Evan Hand. He's cranking up here every week. We'll be having some of his picks on. You guys saw what we did last week. We absolutely crushed over 40 units. Go to the description of this video. Hit the link, go to whop.com, join the Degenerate Gamblers. Look, it's $24.99. Are you kidding me? $24.99 a month, and it's a team. We got a team of guys all over the country in there, getting all kinds of different information. You shouldn't bet on a game without it. You really shouldn't. You have to have this thing. Sign up, whop.com, Degenerate Gamblers. Go to Howie Dewey on YouTube. Subscribe. Just subscribe, Howie Dewey. Howie_Dewey, Instagram, whatever, Twitter. Let's crank this up. If you're not sure, if it sounds a little crazy, go to our Discord on WAP and look at every bet.
Why did you get Randy Macho Man Savage right there? Why did you just
Oh,
go,
look who it is.
to our
Look who just popped in out of nowhere, man.
on the Discord?
We got resident Raiders fan, Mr. Sam Tripoli.
Oh,
Raiders
God.
follower.
It's gonna be a long year for you, brother.
Dude, dude.
Sam, what do you think right now? First
Just-
of all, how happy are you that the Raiders are back in your college hometown of Las Vegas?
I love it. But it's really set us up for like a bad situation because they want to win a new local market, so they got to win. But they're never going to win unless they get a real quarterback, and they're not going to get a quarterback unless they shit the bed.
Yep.
That's it. So they're between a rock and a hard place.
Next year's draft class doesn't look great either.
I don't know. There seem to be a bunch of big numbers being put up week one, the first 2 weeks, but we'll see.
Quinn Ewers.
I don't know, man. It just seems like, yeah. Well, no, Narlock will get Florida State's quarterback. He should have stayed at Washington State or Oregon State, wherever he was. He's doing great.
Clemson, Oregon State, and now FSU. Unga lunga bunga lale.
Yeah, but he did great at Oregon State. He was crushing it.
Yeah,
And then he moved. He just tried to go to a bigger market, and it's blowing up in his face.
Well, Oregon State, one of only 2 teams to stay in the
Pac-12.
exclusive Pac-12.
Hey, don't even get me started on that. And by the way, dude,
today, Sam,
are
that's
you
what we got
using a
you on
microphone? Are you using a microphone?
I told him the same
here. Yeah, how'd
thing.
that sound?
It's not
He's
working.
echoey.
You're
All right, I turned it
you're
down a
using
little
your
bit. So-
computer
Yeah, that is.
microphone
Sam.
right now.
We're talking about the
Dude,
Pac-12.
the constant battle of Howie versus the machine is a constant battle, dude. Work it out now while the show's just growing. Get it done now.
Hey, that's got to sound better. So,
It does
Sam,
sound better. By not better. That's what it sounds like. But
all right. Yeah.
bad
well,
news today. Just found out UNLV is not part of the first 4
No.
of the Mountain West
No.
to go to the new Pac-12, which I don't understand.
I think I can help you out with that. Because that's what I do. That's kind of what I do here on the DGen Gambler. So 4 teams join the elusive Pac-2, which is now the Pac-6. Boise State leading the way. And everyone's like, geez, they have to have 2 more. You have to have 8 to consider yourself an official conference. Why didn't they invite UNLV? Well, rumor has it that some bigger conferences like the Big 12 really would like to have UNLV come in
I
because
would
of their
love
hoop
that.
situation, because of their football is on the up and up. Sam, wouldn't you rather have your squad playing in the Big 12 than the Pac shit, whatever it is?
Well, I mean, it's interesting, right? You're like, yeah, from a revenue point of view, that would be great for the school. I mean, it would help grow the athletics, right? But from a competition point of view, it's like it's going to be easier to get into the college football league if you're beating up on these other teams. I don't understand why they would take what you said right there, Howie, made a ton of sense to me. Like, why even bother getting UNLV if they're just going to end up leaving
Right.
for the Big 12? So
Yes.
why even grab them? But I would be excited either one because I just want, dude, we're going to explode if we go to either one of those schools because now either one of those conferences because now we have a legit football stadium.
Hey, I think
Quality
personally,
black athletes. We're finally going to get quality black athletes on our football team. We
got
couldn't
now.
do it.
I mean, if
We
you've
would just
done some
only get
research,
Hawaiian Mormons. That was the best we could do.
hey, you look at their squad this year. They have some legit NFL players on their squad this year. I mean, that brings us into this weekend, Sam. They're going into Kansas this weekend. They're going into Kansas as a 6.5 point underdog. And I'll be honest, that's one of those games that just came out and hit me right in the face because I can see them going into the Kansas and beating Kansas. I really can. I think they have the skill players to do it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but last year's game was way closer than I think a lot of people expected. This new coach is great. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. Because what's the name of our coach?
It's just what, second year. He's
Yeah,
excellent.
he wasn't. He was
Great
a.
reputation.
Hold on, UNLV.
I can't think. He's
Kevin
got
Kruger.
a really good.
Oh, no, that's
this team's solid. I
that's
mean,
basketball.
UNLV. It's going to come down this year to UNLV and Boise.
Barry Odom.
For a playoff
Barry
spot.
Odom, who was like an SEC assistant coach for a while,
Yeah.
took a gig. So the question becomes like, now that he's taken this dormant team that is, we were talking about it on Cash Days, hasn't been good since Randall Cunningham, right? That's how long we've not been good. We have 1 year with Henry Bailey. Taking his team, made them super competitive. Is he going to get poached to go to another school? But if you're in one of these big conferences, do you need to leave, or can you just build a program and be the guy and just
No,
be
you
the
can. You can stay. That's why my point to you was, why would you want to join the shit? The Pac-12 is a joke. I mean, the only thing that's going to be worse than the Pac-12 is the Mountain West. I don't know who the hell. Like, you're going to have North Dakota, South Dakota. I don't know.
I mean, dude, when
Look at
they're
the Big
taking
12, if a place like UNLV can get into the Big 12 or the Big 10, that's a money maker. Now you're getting, and UNLV has good alumni money. They have good alumni
we have
money.
so much money, dude. All that money around there, bro.
Yeah.
Corporations, it's gonna be nuts.
They
We're
got money.
gonna be able to pay these kids so much money.
So it's going to be interesting, but I think that's kind of why you didn't see them just coast into that new Pac-6.
Howie, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I was too pissed off that we didn't get in, but that's a great point. And I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. I want to see us in a big conference.
And I think they will be. So getting back to this weekend's game, Sam, you guys are going in to Baltimore. Baltimore coming off a close game, solid game against, arguably the best team in the NFL, it's Chiefs. How do you feel going in there? I think you're plus like 8.5, I think.
Well, I mean, so Kansas City struggled against Illinois, right? They had a tight game against them, right? I think it was first game. And they have lost one, right? Kansas City has lost one. They're not the Kansas City basketball team. They're the football team. I don't know, man. I think we got a chance. I think we got a chance. We have a we just annihilated whatever community college we played last week.
Well, all right,
We're talking about the Raiders.
And still talk about UNLV. Yeah, I think they got a chance too.
Oh, you're talking about the Raiders going
I was
into
talking
the
about the
Ravens?
Raiders
Illinois
going
got
to
a
Baltimore, 8.5.
I don't know, bro. I think Gardner Minshew isn't as bad as he seemed last week. Howie, I told you this when they hired their offensive coordinator. He's a 10-point-a-game offensive coordinator. He was that last year with Chicago. They weren't very good. They didn't put up a lot of points. Not that Chicago in game one did that this season, but I don't know why they got him, because he struggled last year. And this is what he did. Looks like he's just following that pattern again. I'd like to think it's different, and I'm gonna hold out hope we can turn it around. But I think the Ravens are desperate. Like this is a lot of pressure on them because they don't want to go 0-2. It's really hard to make the Super Bowl at 0-2. Like they have Super Bowl or bust, desires.
Yeah.
Whereas the Raiders are just trying to right the ship.
Their offensive line looked suspect last week. The Ravens.
What do you
Which is
think
crazy
about
because
this
they've been
line
working
having
on
an
that,
8.5?
right?
Do you think that's too high?
I mean, here's the problem, right? You have the Jets and you have the Ravens going up against the two best teams in the league, right? In my humble opinion. And these are high octane teams. So they're going to look like they're in disarray, or they're not going to be. I think the Ravens are a lot better than we think they were, even though the game was close.
I agree.
It was down to a line, right? I think they're a lot better than we think. And I think the Jets are too. I think the Jets are a lot better than they looked game one. I don't think the Raiders are much better than they looked game one. This offense coordinator doesn't give me any hope. And,
Evan,
you already have Pierce already talking about that. And I go, what made you think this guy was going to do anything based on what he did the last 2 years or the last year?
Right. So, Sam, you're thinking maybe they could lose by 10 points, maybe 2 touchdowns to the Ravens in Baltimore.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, like, I wish we weren't playing Ravens game 2. I feel like we had to win game 1.
I think they're going to get
There's
killed.
one thing in that game.
You think they're going to get killed?
Yeah.
I do too.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're going to get killed.
Derrick
Really
Henry,
sucks.
yeah.
So
I love the Raiders. But I've never been this checked out in a season already. And I'm talking like 1 quarter in.
Welcome to life as a Jets fan, brother.
yeah.
But
yeah,
dude,
shit.
you guys have way more going for you than we do.
Well,
You just do. Like I have way more faith in Aaron Rodgers getting it together. And I think you guys win this week. Big time.
Evan just said something. Evan said something that jumped right out at me. And he said, we were talking about Baltimore, and he said, Derrick Henry. I love this prop bet. Derrick Henry over 70 yards rushing. I think he's going to hit that. This guy barely ever gets hurt. I can see him running for over 100, but over 70, I really like that prop bet this weekend.
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't like how the Ravens kind of changed their game plan halfway through, and then it became, let's run. I don't care how durable your quarterback is. A running quarterback is dangerous to the team. I don't like it. I especially, dude, I'm sorry. I know Lamar Jackson's a great athlete. He's not the biggest guy, and he lost even more weight. So I don't know why they didn't run Henry more last week. Like he was sitting the sidelines a lot. That's the only problem you have.
Yeah. They took him out for a while in the third quarter.
I don't get it. That's the only problem I would have with that prop bet. It's like, did they learn, and are they going to run that guy? Let him run.
I think if he gets 10, 15 carries, I think he's in good shape. I like that prop bet this weekend. I just think he's due to have one of those Derrick Henry days.
I agree.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope.
What do you think of Sam?
Actually,
What do
don't
you
hope.
think
What am I
tonight?
talking?
Your upstate New York squad going into Miami. What do you think of that game tonight? Bills at Dolphins. Bills plus 2.5.
I mean, the Bills seem to have the Dolphins number. I think the Dolphins are going to try to get Treek arrested every game before it's going to become a ritual where he gets pulled over and assaulted by Latino cops, and just to keep the streak going. I don't know, man. I mean, like, this is it. We'll find out, man. Like Miami last year, they were really good against non-playoff teams and then crap the bed against playoff teams. So, I mean, I don't think the Bills are the team they were last year. I think they've lost weapons. So we'll see. I don't like how they use Josh Allen, and I just think at some point you have to go, this coach can't change his team.
Yeah.
Right? Because he just keeps making the same mistakes over and over and over again. They can't fix the line, and they lost weapons. So I think Buffalo wins again. But what's the line?
The line is
2.5.
Buffalo plus 2.5. And I grabbed my nuts on this one. Evan, what do you think of this parlay? I got the Bills money line. I got Josh Allen throwing over 200 yards. And I got Dawson Knox, the tight end, over 12.5 yards rushing. And the whole thing plus 302, baby.
Time out. You said rushing?
Rushing.
Dawson Knox?
Dawson Knox receiving.
That scares me because Kincaid, he's coming into his own over in Buffalo. So I don't know. I feel like his usage could be limited a lot.
Oh, hold on. Is he getting thrown 12 times, or does he have to get 12 yards?
12
What
yards.
is
12 yards, 12.5 yards.
I feel good about that one.
Hey, I think they're going to go to him 3-4 times throughout the game, maybe once a quarter. And if they do that and he gets 2 catches, there's a good chance we got it. I don't know. We'll see.
I think tonight's a close game, though. I think if you were to do a 6-point teaser with the Chargers plus 1.5, I know we're going through 0, but Chargers plus 1.5, Bills plus 8.5, and then Ravens minus 2.5, that's plus 140. That looks pretty good to me.
Oh, the Chargers heading into Carolina, correct?
There's no fucking way they don't win that game by 2 points.
I mean, do we say this quarterback's a bust? I mean,
Bryce Young sucks.
how is that like he was like, it's so crazy how the wheels just fell off.
He's bad. I mean, who's worse, Evan? Bryce Young or our boy last year for the Jets, who's
Zach
now
Wilson? I would argue that Zach Wilson would do a better job in Carolina than Bryce Young's doing right now.
Here's your problem. You take Bryce Young first. He has to play when he should have been sitting behind and watching and learning and getting better. This is not every – I mean, Sam Darnold, we'll see how week 2 is, but he seems to be doing great in Minnesota. I get it. And then we also have – what's his face in Tampa? Baker, who seems to be – I mean, both those guys were in Carolina and neither could do well, and now they've gone to other places and they seem to be doing pretty good. So I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah.
But, man, when you had C.J. Stroud, who was like a 6'3" or 6'4", whatever size he is, and you take the guy who's 5'11",
I'll tell you what. I wanted to cry this Sunday when I saw Sam Darnold just looking like an NFL All-Pro. He was terrible with the Jets.
Horrible.
I mean, he was terrible.
Horrible.
There seems to be franchises that can't get it right. And even Chicago, that first game.
Yeah. He had 93 yards.
From the first pick in the draft.
Evan,
dude, and this guy's walking into something where the team won 7 games last year. It wasn't like he's going into a Peyton Manning 1-15 team. He's going to a 7-win team.
He's got, what do they got? DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift.
Arguably one of the best receiving corps out there.
And meanwhile, Jaden Daniels over in Washington, he balled out even though they lost. He had a pretty good game.
Yeah, I think the Giants are in trouble this weekend. I don't think the Giants beat Washington.
Listen, the Giants should win one game so they don't go defeated and then just shit the bed. I think there's going to be the back out of Georgia's pretty good. But again, when you have more talent around you than everybody else, it's hard to see if you're actually that good when you're playing college football with pro athletes.
Hey, I want to see my boy Tommy DeVito back in action as the Giants did that lovely Pizza Hut commercial with him. He's a good kid. They won a few games with him last year. Get the Italian stallion back there tossing over in Jersey, man. This guy, Daniel Jones, oh my God.
Second worst contract in the NFL.
Gotta be.
Easily.
Gotta be.
What's the worst?
Deshaun fucking Watson, who just
I wouldn't
loves to pick up cases.
I wouldn't doubt the Browns are somehow in some back channels involved in this.
I thought about that.
They're like, we gotta get out of this. We gotta get out of this, dude. He's not the same guy.
When I was in Houston, I talked to so many people about that situation, and everybody, all those Houston fans told me, they said he was set up by Houston ownership, that it was all BS. And literally that's what they told me. And I was like, that's the craziest conspiricy I've ever
You
heard
know
in my
what?
life.
They were involved with it. They knew he was getting rub and tugs, and they
Yeah.
had them sign all these NDAs.
Yeah.
And then
I
when,
mean,
like an idiot, he forced his way out of Houston, and they're like, "Bro, we know where the bodies are buried. What are
yeah.
you doing?"
So I don't know. I mean, Cleveland could be in trouble this weekend. They got to go down to Jacksonville. Jacksonville, they're going to put up 3, 4 touchdowns.
They
That
should have
over
won
under
last
weird.
week. They should
41
have.
and a half. It's not
That's
high.
just a team that, again, is just seems a little cursed. They got everything. They got a Super Bowl winning coach. I think they got a great quarterback, and they just can't get over the hump.
No. So, Evan, our Jets go down to Tennessee, second road game in a row. We're 0-1. We're -4 points. We're a decent favorite down there. Are we going to get it done? Are we going to cover that 4?
Jets cover the 4 easily. I think going up against the second best team in the NFL was a bit harsh on Monday Night Football. Aaron couldn't settle in. If we get the defense off the field for one goddamn second, the Niners ran twice as many plays as we ran, which was absurd. I don't think this would be a problem. Will Levis looked like shit last week. I think this defense comes to life. We cover the 4, in my opinion.
Well, there are certain times where you're like, it's 4th and 1 and you're throwing the ball. Why? Like, you have a great running back. What are you doing?
Nathaniel Hackett sucks. For the first half, he went run, pass, and was wondering why we couldn't get a goddamn first down. It was crazy.
Yeah. No, it was frustrating to see. I mean, because Aaron Rodgers, you can't knock him. He did everything he was supposed to. He looked good.
Didn't get hurt.
But like you said, our offense just wasn't on the field. They were just running, passing, just killed our defense. That's got to pick up this weekend.
Listen, of everybody here, you have the most hope. Out of all every one of my friends' teams suck. Here are my friends' teams: Falcons, Panthers, Raiders, Jets. You have the most hope of any of that group.
I mean, look, Evan and I both know this. If we don't get it done this year, we may be in for some time again.
Another 20 years probably.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if we don't get it done this year, it's going to be a while because the team will fall apart quickly. Guys will end up all over the place. This is the year. But no, I do like our situation this weekend going into Tennessee. I do.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
guys got a chance.
1-1.
You guys got a chance. I think you guys can beat Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee, I probably should have won last week but the 2 knucklehead plays that the quarterback made just put him deep, dude.
I'm one line that confuses me a little bit. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks are headed to New England. I think Vegas is giving New England a little too much respect after winning game 1, week 1, and Seattle's only laying 3.5.
Who are they playing?
At New England. I would think that line would be 5, and it's 3.5.
Yeah. I can't believe that. I mean, they went up against a Bengals team that didn't have their top 2 wide receivers.
Jamar played.
What?
Jamar played in that game.
How much did he play?
He played a good amount. He was on my fantasy team.
How many points he get you?
Not many, 10, I think.
Okay,
I mean, he doesn't want to be there. He wants a contract. He didn't play well. Burrow looked like shit.
Burrow's who are we getting? Are we getting a guy that can beat, the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs? Or are we getting a guy who's kind of breaking down constantly?
There's a theory out there that his wrist is still hurt.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's always playing with it. He's on the sidelines 24/7 doing this shit.
Yeah.
Someone showed he couldn't even pick up a water bottle.
Yep.
That would suck because I love that guy.
He's great.
I don't know. He changed his hair to a beautiful
Yeah,
sperm
that's
white, and
never
now
good.
everything's falling to shit.
That's never good ever.
Um, you
So,
got a good team,
what was the line? It's
3.5.
3.5.
Patriots plus 3.5.
Yeah,
Patriots plus 3.5. Yeah. I versus Seattle, I take Seattle.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I like Seattle. I'm
Yeah.
not sold on New England. I don't, I like them. Another weird one too is you got the Colts going into Green Bay. Colts going into Green Bay is a 2.5 point favorite. Of course, we know why that is.
Yeah, because Love isn't playing. And then they have Willis, like Malik Willis as their backup. How long's he been there? He just got there. He like literally got traded last week. How much of the offense does he have down?
I'm sure he's got enough to, not get a ton of penalties on the offensive side. But that's a kind of game right there that you've seen this 1,000 times before. The Packers are up against the wall, don't have their court. Watch this kid come out and have the best game he's ever had in his life, and they beat New England by 10 points. I'm sorry, Indianapolis. They beat him by 10 points. I could see that happening. I could see the Packers pulling that out.
Now, who won? Did Seattle win their first week?
Yeah, they beat the Broncos. They didn't look great.
Well, I mean,
The Broncos could be the worst looking team in the NFL besides the Giants.
I'm sorry, but Pete Carroll is so underrated as a coach.
He retired.
Yeah, he's retired. Now he's teaching at USC, and I think he's probably helping the football team. I mean, and let's get into that. I mean, like, they go and they beat LSU, which I didn't think was going to happen. And they beat them, which is incredible. And they did it without Caleb Williams. It's like
System
is
quarterback.
Caleb Williams the winner we thought he was.
So it's like the 49ers system quarterback. Runs in the blood over there in Cali.
I'm going to give you a game, Sam. This one scares me. And you got the New Orleans Saints going into Dallas.
Ooh.
Now, the Saints are +6 underdogs. I love that. I don't think Dallas looked like the best team in the league first week. They looked amazing. I think it's a fad. I think this game will be closer than 6 points.
I think it's a trap.
But everybody and their mother's going to be taking Dallas.
I know, but like
there might be a reason for that.
The Saints, dude, they beat the shit out of the Panthers. That tells me nothing.
I mean, I don't know.
We'll find out.
I can see that being a close game.
I don't know, man. Derek Carr is who we thought he was.
Hey, and here's respect to the Vikings. The Vikings blasted the Giants. Here's major respect. The Niners are going into Minnesota only as a 5-point favorite, not even a touchdown.
I think that's an interesting game.
Yeah.
I could see the 49ers, showing the Vikings who they really are.
I don't know. I would tend to think that would be the educated guess, correct? I mean, I could see 49ers beating them by 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
but it's the NFL.
No, that's the only thing. Darnold knows that team.
He does.
He's there for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good.
If he has another good game this week, we have to have some discussions.
Yeah,
sure.
we do. But you know what's crazy, dude? Is this San Francisco juggernaut team is all because their quarterback is Mr. Irrelevant. He's playing for a ham sandwich.
$8,000 a year.
He's playing for a ham sandwich, dog.
Guy's the lowest paid quarterback in like decades,
ever.
I think. Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, dude, that's why you can have all these people getting paid. And then the question becomes, what is Brock Purdy worth when he's up for contract?
They're screwed.
I mean, dude, Dak to me isn't a $60 million a year quarterback. I don't think that. I think that's going to bite them in the ass at some point. But Brock Purdy, what's he? I mean, he's probably more like what's his face in Tampa right now?
Baker.
Baker, like 30.
Yeah.
I mean,
And if you're paying your quarterback 30 when the other team's paying their quarterback 60, dude, you can load up.
he seems like the type of guy to take a cut
Oh,
to get other people around him. Obviously.
I mean, all you got to do, dude, if you're Brock Purdy, is not fuck this up. Right?
Yeah.
Like, all you have to do is just keep the gravy train running, and you're never going to work a real job again in your life. You win one Super Bowl with the 49ers. You're calling games for CBS. You're living that. Like, what is the big picture here?
The big picture is Brock Purdy's going to be in a Giants uniform in a year. You watch. You watch.
Dude, the way you said that was like you just got caught with your hand in the cookie jar and you didn't care. You're like, yeah, I'm just going to eat this effing cookie.
I'm telling you, Brock Purdy's going to be in New Jersey next year, getting his lower spine snapped in half by half of the NFL.
If I was him, I would never leave.
Well, that's pretty much. My man Sam Tripoli came on dropping knowledge in UNLV this weekend, going into Kansas. I'm on page with Sam. I think they go in and get a W.
Yeah, I for sure. Baseball, I'm going to tell you this. I mean, Dana, don't tell Dana I told you this. I have no faith in the Dodgers. Like, I've never seen a team have like the best record or tie for the best record and just have zero. I have zero faith in this team. I'm gonna tell you, man, any night anybody could beat them and they just get weird. And like in a 7-game series or even a 5-game series, you can beat these guys. Now, Ohtani is the guy, bro. I mean, it's fun to watch. A 50-50, he'll probably go over that. So that's my insight.
Do you think he's
Dodgers?
Real? Is Ohtani a human? Is he not AI?
Like,
I think he's AI.
I don't know, bro, but I mean, like he strikes out a lot, but man, he's exciting, and we haven't even started seeing him pitch.
He's going to pitch next year, correct?
Crazy, dude. Yeah, I mean, our pitchers, bro, they're all hurt. All right, guys, I'm so happy to be on here. I'll do it anytime I'm available. Just let me know. I'm so happy you both are doing this. It's a great show. Keep me posted.
Yeah. It's good to get the team back together, man.
Hey,
we're going to be watching UNLV. We're going to be watching Sam's Raiders. And the last thing I'm going to tell everybody is if you watched the show Monday, you saw how I said it was very strange that Texas State was a 2-point underdog versus a lot more. I mean, I don't get it. Arizona State's 2-0 coming into Texas State. They were 2-point favorites on Monday. They're 2-point underdogs tonight. You got to roll with Texas State. Something shady in the state of Texas. And
whoa,
Texas State,
you think something's up?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I love the quarterback for Texas State. He's a transfer from James Madison University. They were awesome last year. But something is up, and I think they're going to beat Arizona State tonight, just on the way this line's been moving.
Why do you think he made a parallel move between James Mason to Texas State?
Close enough.
Like that? Oh, okay. Texas State's like, we got to get in on this action, this realignment, dude. We're in Texas, like us.
Listen, Texas State is no joke. They have some NFL players on that squad. And I mean, if you asked me where the hell it was, I'd be like, it's somewhere in that other country of Texas.
Yeah, who knows where it is, dude.
Yeah. But they're loaded. They're playing Arizona State tonight. I think something smells bad, and I do think they're going to win that game.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Good having you, Mr. Tripoli.
Always a
Good
pleasure
time.
to talk to you guys. Take care.